Everybody's talking about Mara and how it pulled back because they could not take that they didn't get in and they bought the top. I got in my dollar cost average. I had actually averaged up. It's now $9.95. So $9.95. I don't think she's going to see that price again. If it does, it's probably going to bounce around there unless something catastrophic happened. So I wanted to we're going to go in here. Let's just take a look at Mara first off, the support and the resistance zones that I'm seeing here. We have, let's go ahead and let me fix this chart here. We have support and resistance. We can see that it rejected that 1, 2, 3, 4 times, 5, 6 times. Then it came down. Now, I don't think that we're going to see this range 40-ish to 50-ish until well into, we're lucky if it's late summer. It's most likely going to be fall. Fall, we're still lucky. Winter, yeah, I expect it to really go parabolic around elections. Absolutely parabolic. Based off history and based off the halving cycles and when it ran. We're going to get into that. I'm going to show you guys a chart. Over here we have which was support, right? I'm looking for how many times it's respected a price zone, not an exact price to the cent, but a zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times over here. This acts as resistance and support. Then we came down, tested it twice, knocked on the door, couldn't break through, fell down. 1, 2, 3, 4 times here. Finally broke it here because we have a lot of catalysts that are coming up. The Bitcoin shorters are going to be like, I'm out. Big spot ETF, out. Halving, yeah, I'm good. Rate cuts, I'm good. All those make it go up. What do we have in COVID? We had a halving and we had rate cuts. What did Bitcoin do? Look at Mara. It went from like 30 cents to 80. 83. They own more Bitcoin now. They've been mining it the whole time. I don't remember the number. Don't quote me on it. Correct me, flame me, whatever you want in the comments below. I think it's 9,000 Bitcoin they own. I think. I could be way off. I think one of them does, from what I read. I don't know if that's true. Could be 900. I don't know. I'll find out the numbers, and I'm going to post it in the comments below. They've been mining Bitcoin the whole time. They have a lot more. Bitcoin goes up. Well, Mara owns Bitcoin, meaning that Mara, the company, is worth more because they can sell that. Then they can use the money to, not that they're going to do this, but they can buy more mining rigs. They can invest in more mining sites, right? Iceland with the cheapest energy that comes from volcanoes. They can cool it from the natural air, which is eco-friendly for mining Bitcoin. Can't be burning coal to do it like they were in China. I support the government. I'm sorry for banning mining if they're using coal to mine. That's crazy, right? But let's go ahead and take a look at it on a different chart here. Let's take a look at a daily. And we had a big volume gap here, especially right here. Look at that. Especially down to 1959. And we cleared it, and we're coming right up on that EMA there. So we pretty much have a volume shelf over here. We're not going to see, I don't see $9 happening. There is, if you look real close here, there is a gap to fill over there. I doubt we're going to fill it. If it does, guess what? I'm still green because I bought early. I've been talking about this. If you come to the group, link is in the description, the Discord group. You can go to the channel. It's in the green bubble next to it, called 500 to 2K account challenge. I wrote about this in June, and I've been telling everyone and talking on live chat probably 15 times a week since 2021, 2022. Hey, there's going to be a halving. This is what happens when there's a halving, and it's going to be great money. Guess what it was? And it is. It's been fantastic money for me so far. So am I freaking out? I'm not. I'm shutting my emotions off because I made an agreement, almost like a contract that can't get broken. When I'm getting in this, I'm not getting out of it. I'm not getting out of it till a year after the halving. Because you know how it goes. If I would have sold at the top, it would have kept running. It would have went to like 60. And if I didn't sell, then it will drop. Well, I didn't sell. That's how it goes. It's mystic. It's like you're on the Truman Show or something. You know what I mean? It was getting high, but it's like, yeah, well, if you get out, timing the entry on something that's just parabolically going nuts like that, Now that takes some skill. You can just you can somewhat use TA, but it's your emotions are going wild. If it's slow like this, it's kind of pretty. It's easy. It's a ballparker. You know, higher lows. I mean, just look how easy it is, and we can time it. Hey, which I did. I already timed the entry perfectly, right? Not perfectly, but pretty close to it. I didn't want to jump the gun. I didn't want to be too early. Buying over here, you know, buying on pops. I wanted to, because I can use that money elsewhere. I don't want to just sit on it for an entire year while it hardly moves. I want to use that money for other things in the meantime. And you don't know how low it's going to go. You can get close to it based off the divergence right there. Yeah, I could have done that. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. It looks like an RSI on the head and shoulders on the RSI almost, but there wasn't even bearish divergence. The RSI just went parabolic and then it crashed. So you could have gotten out, but where would you have bought back in? You know, I guess maybe you could have bought in there. It would have went lower. You would have freaked out, right? It would have started going up. Then you would have been like, no, the Bitcoin spot ETF is approved. It's probably going to keep going. It's not going to be a sell the event type event. And then you would have bought, and then it went down, right? I don't care. What I'm doing is, as it goes lower, I'm buying more, eliminating all that noise. I'm going to stay calm, cool, and collected. And I actually made a YouTube video talking about how it was going to crash. So this volume gap is filled right here. This gap is not. I highly doubt she's crashing through the EMAs. I expect it to bounce off this EMA. At worst, we're going to bounce off the 100 here. Is this the 100 or 200? I don't know what I have it set as. Either way, I expect us to bounce off one of these two. And, you know, worst case scenario, we fill this volume, this gap, and we've got a volume shelf right here with a volume gap. It could fill that. Guess what? I'm still green, and if it does go down that low, I'm going to be selling $5 and $7 and $8 puts for, you know, May, April, June, July, way out, getting that juicy premium. I may even sell some up higher in the money. Let's talk about I have a cheat sheet right here. I have a Fed rate cut cheat sheet based on what's expected. Bitcoin runs inverse the dollar. It runs inverse the dollar. The dollar goes down, Bitcoin goes up. I can show you guys in a separate video. We can compare Dixie with the US with Bitcoin. Just like gold, it runs inverse. Now, at times Bitcoin can break away and it will do its own thing. For the most part, it's separate of the dollar. It's not going to just connect it, you know, like it's the VIX to the dollar, right? How VIX acts to the S&P. It's not that related. But when the dollar falls, Bitcoin rises, and I can prove it. So, January 31st, we have a Fed meeting. There is a 4% chance that they're going to cut interest rates, and 95% chance they're going to leave it unchanged. No change. 0% chance of hike. It's 0% chance of hikes for the rest of the year. March 20th, 320. There's a 79% chance of cuts, 20% chance of no change. So they're leaning that they're going to cut. May 1st, and this is important, right? The first two, whatever. I'm not going to pay attention too much. I'm going to be watching it, but May 1st, there is a 92% chance of rate cuts and a 7% chance of no change. So they're leaning more towards rate cuts. I just said May 1st here. The Bitcoin halving is in April, late April, April 20th through 24th, 26th, somewhere around there, and that's 6-day range. I don't know the exact date. Doesn't really matter. I can look it up later. I'm already in it. I don't need to know the exact date right now. So a week after that, there's almost a 100% chance they're going to cut interest rates. There's two catalysts, the main ones. The spot ETF is nothing. That's whatever. You know, even if they didn't approve it, it's still going to go parabolic without it. With it, without it, it still should go as it did every single halving. Then, June 12th, a little over a month later, 100% chance of rate cuts. July 31st, 100% chance is what they're expecting. September 18th, 9/18, 100% chance. 11/7, November 7th, 100% chance. 12/18, December 18th, 100% chance of rate cuts. That's pretty good. I'm really excited for that. So over in here, we had interest rate cuts and we had a Bitcoin halving. And what did it do? Around 9,000, shot up to 65 grand. I expect us to, I have a fib pointing to, I'm going to do some more technical analysis on Bitcoin itself and the dollar. I'm going to do a separate video, but I have a harmonic, excuse me, not a fib, pointing to $76,000. So around there will be my first. I'm going to probably sell when we get back to ATH all-time high over here. And I will a little bit, like let's say 1/10, 1/20 my holdings. Scale out and probably be scaling into metals since they're going to be the next thing that's going to run. They're the safest, best risk reward. If I have some wild charts that I haven't seen anyone on YouTube or the internet post quarterly and yearly. Go back to SI, silver, and /GC, gold futures, going back to 1973, 72 to today, which each candle being a year, representing a year, a yearly chart max. Oh my gosh, and tell me what you see on silver. Holy moly. No one's talking about this pattern that I've seen. And I'm going to show it to you guys in my next video. Make sure to like and comment if you want to see it. And shoot me a follow. So I expect this to go nuts. We knew it was going to pull back. I made a video. I told everyone it's going to drop whenever they approve the spot ETF, just like everything does. Let's go ahead and we'll just pull up Beto, since it's, I don't think it's let me see Bitcoin futures, unfortunately, here on, okay, it is. Let's go back to, where was the, there it is. Bitcoin spot ETF was approved over in here. Let's go to a 4-hour chart. Yep. We were approved over here and we absolutely exploded. We were on our way to 50 grand, and look at that, and we just sucked all the way back down. But it's not really a big deal. We were just there, you know, in early January 6th. We were, you know, this price, we were over here January 3rd. It's not a big deal. Everyone's like, oh, it's over, and they're freaking out. I'm focusing on having no emotions, and again, I am holding crypto, and I don't care what happens, and I could lose. Kind of looks like we're going to peel over and suck lower here. I really don't care. I'm not going to look at my holdings. I bought so low. I mean, it's going to really have to tank. Worst case scenario, I take my money back or a tiny loss. I highly doubt that's going to happen when we're going to be heading into basically the dollar evaporate. I mean, guys, we're heading into, it looks like we're heading into hyperinflation. You know, I study this stuff left and right. I'm analyzing everything, and it is scary. It is very scary. We haven't gotten inflation under control, you know, and we're about to be cutting interest rates, and they're saying that there is a 100% chance from in June, July, September, November, and December. 5 cuts? Unless there's like a 2008 style crash, hopefully that will happen, then that may save us from, there's other ways of getting inflation under control, right? I'm not going to get into all that. We can get it under control, but certain things and behaviors need to stop, and I'm not going to say from who. There's ways around all this that we can get this down. I've already discussed this with some of the members in the group, but is that going to happen? Is that what they're going to do? No. So I'm expecting us to really head into some serious inflation. And for my next video, I'm going to talk about the dollar versus Bitcoin. I'm going to do a video after that, and gold and silver and what I see on that. So the dollar is going to plummet. If we're doing 5 interest rate cuts, it is going to tank. Dollar's going to tank. Bonds are going to rip. TLT, the longer term the bond, like strips, Treasury strips, ZROZ, Zeros, TLT, they're going to go nuts. Bitcoin should go nuts, just like it did over here when we're cutting interest rates. And I expect metals, gold and silver, to go parabolic. So this is actually pretty easy. Am I going to be focusing that much on equities? Not really. I'm going to be focusing on the last three things I just talked about. If you guys like this content, like and follow for more.